I didn't check if Mike was okay. Oh no. Let me see. Yeah, it's good. Okay, you guys, so I'm on here early and my hair is crazy for the record. I don't know what the fuck kind of hairstyle that is, but it's giving 2000s vibe. Anyways, I am like kind of on the warpath right now. Not really, but I'm just upset. I don't know. So I have to talk about things. I'm gonna eat breakfast. This is just gonna be this cheese. And then I'm just gonna rant. And then when I'm done ranting, then I guess I'll go to work. But I am like having a lot of issues right now with my body. Caleb, don't ever say that. How dare you? Also, love the non. Love that. Love that for you. Oh my god. I can't even like think. So let me get the freaking cobwebs out of my throat. But no, Joe is not the best president in years. It's crazy. So, as you guys know, I've been like horrifically plateaued for a couple months. Let me actually like try to share the stream. I don't know if anyone else is gonna come, Caleb, because it's so early. But I don't know. I'm up early now and I hate it. On one thing too, I stayed up really late last night. I stayed up till like 2:30 a.m. and I still woke up at 8. And I'm just like, that is so fugly. Like, my body is just not agreeing with me anymore. Oh shit, I forgot to count. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. It is a mess. It is. It's because I just woke up. So that's 480. Ugh. God, this fucking sucks. Anyways, so I'm like a mess in general. So my hair is like stuck like this. Like it will not change. I don't understand why it won't change. But I literally tried to like hold it down. I'd probably have to get it wet. And I'm just like, girl, I'm not gonna do all that. Like, if it wants to do that, then fine. We'll go for it today. But anyways, I was literally just like, so what is this stream called? It's called Say Don't Go. Why? Because that's how I feel about my garbage. So a lot of you guys know I've eaten a lot of candy and stuff, and I've been very carb heavy the whole time I've been losing weight, which is like 86 pounds. That's a lot. But I've reached a point really recently, like I'd say since like November, where my body is just not, it's not liking the carbs anymore. Like I can eat sugar and stuff and it doesn't satisfy anymore. And I don't know how weird that could be to you guys to understand, but it's like the basis of my diet has been carbs for like years. I'd say probably since 2021. And for that to change now, it's like a huge jarring change. And it's like a complete different lifestyle. And I'm just like horrified that I have to go towards lower carb. And it's not like drastically lower carb, but it's like I don't think I can be having candy anymore just because I don't have enough calories to do it, because I have to have fat because my body's changed and it doesn't, like the only thing that satisfies me now is fat. and I need like fatty fat. Like I have to have like cream cheese or pork rinds, like straight up fat. And so yesterday I just was like, bitch, I'm starving to death. I'm just gonna eat like a massive hog. I ate so many calories yesterday. I don't even know how many I ate. Like it's crazy. Um, yeah, yeah. I think I have to change. Like it makes sense because I'm not severe hypo anymore. And I think having to rely on such strong sugar, it was more of like a severe thing. And I'm not anymore. I'm moderate. Which moderate is like, it's like you're becoming more of a normal person. So the sugar and stuff, it's just not filling anymore. It used to be, it was, but now I'm only being filled by fat. So I have to change my whole lifestyle. And I think that that can be really hard. And that's one of the hardest things about losing weight from such a huge size is that you have different seasons where you have to do different things. And it's really hard to change. A lot of people, they want to just like do one thing and stay on that one track forever. And I wish I could do that because I liked what I was doing. It was working. I lost massive amounts of weight eating tons and tons of candy and sugar all the time and juices and just being very, very carb heavy. And it's like, I can't anymore because I don't get full. I'm starving. And the only thing that makes me full is fat now. Like fat will fill me up now. And so yesterday I ate like 5,000 pounds of cream cheese. I think I had like 3 or 4 tubs, like legit. That's how many cream cheese I had. And my skin and stuff was kind of getting weirder. I think because I was really deficient in fat. Because I kind of depend, when you have high carb, you depend on low fat to lose weight. Like you always have to something has to go when you're doing a deficit. It's kind of like living in the Biden economy. Something has to go. You got to make sacrifices. When you're in a deficit, you can't just do everything you want or have anything you want. You can't because you're making cuts. So just like in this inflationary economy, you have to make cuts when you have to change your diet. So if I have to eat more fat, that means I have to eat less carbs. And that's really sad to me. And like I said, going to bed late, still waking up early. Like I think I'm just having a moment with my body where it's like I'm not accepting that it's on a different page. And I'm just kind of hating it right now. I really am. Because I liked that lifestyle. I liked eating 5,000 carbs a day and staying up till 3 in the morning. I mean, it was hard in some ways, but I think I'm just having a moment where it's like, this is different. Like my body's different and I have to change my routine. And I don't know. It's stupid. Like it's kind of stupid and petty, but it's like in times like these, sometimes your routine is like all you have. And I think especially in a weight loss journey, you want to stay the same. Like most people don't ever want to change their routine. And you have to change your routine. And it's horrible. I've had to change things a lot. But this is a major change. Like this is like foundational to my whole thing. And it's fine. Like I think the carbs are just, I don't know, they're just not satisfying. They're too stimulating now. It's too much. I think it's actually slowing me down. And it's just weird because you feel like I feel kind of betrayed a little bit. I know that sounds really extra, but I'm just talking about how I feel. I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed by carbs right now. And I'm just like telling them to say, don't go. Just tell me that you'll satisfy me again and I will not change, but they're not. And it's been like 2 weeks. And I think sometimes you got to just take the L, you know? You got to take the L. If it's been 2 weeks, it's like, it's time to just say, okay, well, so I had a whole thing of eggnog as well. And tell me why that eggnog was like the gift of the gods. Like when I was eating fat yesterday, it literally felt like I was high on weed. That's how good it was. And I was just like, this is like supernaturally good. And it's because I'm like really deficient. But it makes sense why I haven't been able to stay in the deficit. Because my body's like, bitch. And then I'm like, and then my body's like, and then I'm like, this is how I know Sam is wrong. When Sam talks about the mind body connection, my body is different from my mind because I don't want to listen to my body at all. I don't. Eggnog is good. I don't care what Sam says. And the fat in it, oh my God, it was glorious. It felt like it was liquid gold going down. And like when I was having the cream cheese, it's just like, so it's not like things are going to change that much. Like I still have sugar. I'll still have carbs. Like I'm not doing keto whatsoever. That's a huge fucking no. But I am going to have to reduce it. I'm not going to be able to have candy anymore. I'm going to have pork rinds, you know? It's like I have to shift. I'm going to have fatty meat and pork rinds and cream cheese or like really fatty yogurt, you know, or ice cream or something. Like if I have sugar, it has to be with a huge amount of fat. Otherwise, it's not going to satisfy at all. On the bra? On the what? I don't know what that is. Sam is just racist and he doesn't like anything that didn't originate from his Italian culture. So that's all it is. That's all it is. And eggnog is probably like German or something. It's some other type of European. So it's just not enough for him. But that's the thing, Caleb. I want marshmallows. And it's like, I can't have marshmallows really because they don't have any fat. And it's just going to be like I'm eating air. And I don't know. I'm just kind of upset. Like, honestly. Oh, okay. It's not like the Barbie in Straya. I'm just kidding. I probably don't have any Australian viewers, but they probably hate the way I just said that. The Barbie in Straya. Anyways, let's see if my hair is agreeing with me about as much as my body right now. Okay, I think some hairs went down. A couple. I have to get my coffee and I don't think I'm gonna put sugar in it. I think I have to like I don't know. I'm so mad. I'm gonna put sugar in my damn coffee. I am gonna do that. It's too much. I don't know how these people do that, where they're like, I have my coffee black. I'm just like, dude, the fuck out of here. Of course I did. Okay, I will be right back. I'm just gonna get my coffee. My coffee. I've got to say it. I wish I could do a Long Island accent just for Sam, but I can't. I can't. All I can do is English because of my ASM artist. That's all I can do, and I'm not gonna do that right now. So I'll be right back. Ew. I put sugar in it, but it doesn't feel like enough sugar to be honest. But I'm just like, whatever. I need to just. I look like, oh my god. Well, no one knows who invented eggnog. Oh, Britain. They see the sun behind you and a guy with a beaver bowl haircut. Love that Caleb's no longer non. Ooh. So Caleb's just like a couple steps away from live streaming with me now. Gosh, this coffee is so bland. Oh my god, this is so bland. I think I like had too much sugar yesterday, and this feels so like not sweet at all. Oh god. Ugh. Anyways, so yeah, it's just really fugified because I know if I eat higher fat and lower carb, I'm gonna just be like mega bitch. Like I'm probably gonna go into another mega bitch mode. And that's okay. Like I can kind of handle it now because I've been through so many bitchy phases, but I've been in like a serotonin storm on top of everything. And my body is just so different. And it's like, I I have to do things differently. And so anyways, I'm finally taking the L today and just being like, bitch, it's done. Like, shut up. Like, you're too gay to function. Oh, damn it. I forgot my knitting. I'll be right back. I'm doing the thing that Lisa complains about all the time. But hey, at least I can go up and down the stairs, and it's really easy. There's that. I practically ran up and down the stairs. I'm only a little bit out of breath. There's that. But what is life without candy and Peeps every day? Oh gosh, I feel like I'm going through a breakup. I do not need blue hair. That is not going to help me. Why don't you have sugar in your coffee? What's wrong with you? I could put stevia in my coffee, but I just don't. I don't think I should because I don't know. I feel like stevia might make me hungrier, but I don't really know. Oh gosh, you guys, I'm so upset. I don't want to change. I really don't. Like, this is me being real and just being like, I really don't want to change at all. And my body is not agreeing with me. My body's like, bitch, please. And I'm just like, no. And it's like, yes, bitch. And I'm like, no. But it's been 2 weeks of this, and I'm just like, it's not going to change. And I have to just, I don't know. I guess I just have to deal. And this is the new paradigm. And I don't want to listen to people. I don't want to be having fruits and vegetables and all that crap. But I'm probably going to have to because I still have to have some carbs and oh. Rooibos is good. It's South African that I cannot pronounce in a South African accent at all, but it is. And I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. Rooibos. Everything I pronounce is Californian. It's a Californian accent. Oh, that's why all the sugar is at the bottom. That's better. I don't know. I'm just really mad. I'm really mad. Like, honestly. Like, if my body was a different person, I probably would slap my body in the face. Or I'd be shouting at it or something. Like, I don't like change like this. This is like a major change. Is what excessive sugar? Oh, Rooibos. Rooibos. I think it's the same as anything. I mean, everything's kind of expensive now. You know how that goes. So anyways, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. How do you guys accept change? I need to track the rest of my calories. I'm going to try to do the deficit today. We'll see if I die. But I think I'm going to be okay if I eat enough fat. I don't care, Caleb. It's Rooibos. It has officially been changed because I said it's that way. Just like Sam is not Italian, he's Italian. Okay? He's from Italy. Not really, though. In my mind, Sam's from Long Island. He's a Long Islander. In my mind, Sam was on Jersey Shore back in the day. So I just hope you know that that's how I think of you, Sam. Oh my God. You can be expensive here depending on the blend and if you're buying the specialty cake. Yeah, well, also like if it's like full of misogyny and racism or not. The kinds that have more misogyny and racism are cheaper, of course. And so my stomach is in knots. I'm really mad. Like, I kind of wish I could go to the gym today and just like blast Bad Blood by Taylor Swift, but I'm like, girl, no, I just went yesterday and my body needs to chill. And I'm just like, no. So, oh my God, my stomach. Oh God, it's doing flips. I'm okay with your blue hair, Caleb. I'm ambivalent. It's like, that's the feeling I have is, blue lesbian hair. But I do like that your profile is not anon anymore. So, love that. Did I pick fights with Ronnie and yeah, totally. Because I know who they are. My mom is like watching this like horrible. It's like they go on vacation or something. It's something like that. It is horrible. I'm just like, wow. Like, I think my mom watches like the most trashy reality TV shows I've ever seen in my life. She watches this one called Selling Sunset. It is horrible. All the women on there, they're like the most catty. They make Taylor Swift look grown up and evolved. That's how bad they are. But they are literally like high schoolers, and I think they're all in their 30s at least. And maybe one of them's like 27, and they're just horrible. And they just constantly are fighting. They're so toxic all the time. They're always competing with each other. And it is the most nasty show ever. They're like vicious. And my mom watches it, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't understand why my mom likes the show. Like, I just don't. But it was so bad that it was actually starting to bother me because it was so like caustic and toxic and, very hypolicious, estrogen-y. It was bad. Like all the women on there, they have like 5 pounds of makeup. Like this one girl, she looks like a clown. She has so much makeup on her face. It looks horrible. And she did these like huge red lips. She looks like a clown. I'm like, their makeup doesn't even look good. They dress horribly. They're like those high fashion types, but the outfits are ugly as hell. They're the worst kinds of people on that show, I swear. They're horrible. But my mom's watching it. She's like totally, totally into it. Like, and I mean like transfixed. Like my mom sits there and she's just like, like literally like so focused. But I think my mom's like estrogen right now or something. But I'm just like, oh my gosh. But my mom is away. She's away for a couple days. So that means I can have some guys over. No, I'm just kidding. But she is away. Could you imagine if I like hoed out right now? That would be so crazy. No, but I'm not doing that. I just like speculation. You have to create speculation about yourself, That's rule number one of being online. Women can be addicted to trashy, shady behavior. There's, like, 4 Real Housewives show I know, seriously. And I'm just like, I don't understand, like, I don't. That kind of stuff I just don't get because they're so boring. They don't really talk about anything, and then they fight about nothing. Like, the one girl, I guess she tripped out because they went to go to Magic Mike, and then the one girl was like she was freaking out because the girls were being hoes on the stage at the Magic Mike show. And she's like, "I don't associate with people like that," and da da da. And I'm just like, "Girl, why are you going to Magic Mike then?" Like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, if you're going to a hoe show, then don't expect anything other than hoe events. If you don't like that kind of stuff, then don't go at all. And then the one girl's like, "Is it because you weren't called on stage and we were?" And blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, and she's like, "That's not what it is. It's not what it is." And it was just so extra. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But it's like, how are these women in their mid 30s? At least mid to late 30s, early 40s. I think one of them turned 40. It's like so pathetic. I'm like, wow, this is like high school trash behavior. And I love that, Sam. And it's like you're 40. Like, how could you be so dumb and acting like a middle school girl when you're 40 years old? Like, that's insane. That is absolutely batshit to me. And I think it just gets worse. Like, the older I get, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I could not be bothered to act like high school like that at this time. Like, it's just stupid to me. I don't know. Because it's like if as an adult, if you don't like your friends, then why are you hanging out with them? Why do you have them as your friends? Like, I wouldn't wanna just have friends that I'm fighting with all the time. That's like early 20s bullshit that I used to do. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't have to do that. Oh my god. Sam. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it probably is staged, but it's like, why would they stage something like that even? That's just crazy. I don't know, but that's what I was watching on Wednesday, like, I don't know, it's just so boring, but, it was funny how my mom was watching football on, I think, Sunday. She had, like, football all day, and my mom loves football. I would never talk shit about her football obsession because it's just a thing. She's loved football forever, and she was just like, I think the Chiefs were playing and she was rooting against them because she hates the Chiefs so much. And I just love it because that's what Travis, Taylor's boyfriend, like that's what their team is. And it makes me laugh so hard. And I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to the game at all, but I think my mom was cheering for the other team because my mom was kind of cheering for my aunt's team. I think it was the Dolphins. And so she was watching and I guess I don't know, I don't remember who won, but she was, like, getting pissed at the Chiefs. It was hilarious to me. Um, but my mom is, like, a fan of the Raiders, and they're, like, the worst team ever. Like, they do so bad, but they just fired all their coaches, and they've had so many things. Like, they were canceled in 2021, and they had, like, the first openly gay whatever on the team, and it's just like, I don't know. I was like, "Mother, your Raiders are, like, really, like, weird and wokeified." But they fired all of them, like, all of their leadership, and I guess they won. So I guess I'll see what they did this week. I'm not gonna watch it, but it's just interesting because my mom is, like, very mainstream, so I feel like she helps me stay in touch with, like, mainstream stuff, like football and I guess bullshit reality TV that is just trash. But I don't know. Like, do you guys watch anything like that? It's more like Sutton to be on the stage, but didn't get to because she was excluded by Erica that ran the event thing, and Sutton was using her cancer to protect her dignity. Okay, so you know it. Yeah, it's something like that, but it's like I said, if you have bitchy friends that are sabotaging you or being stupid or whatever, like, why would you still be their friend in your 40s? Like, I don't feel like anybody has time for that. I don't have time for that in my 30s. I certainly shouldn't have time for that in my 40s. But I guess Sam is right. It's body of an adult, mind of a child, because there's a lot of um, there's a lot of stupid 40 somethings these days. It's really odd. Um, it's really, really odd to me because it's like, who the hell is the adults then? You know, if 40 somethings are not being adults, like, then who is? Um, oh my gosh, embrace your mutable signs. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I just think I I don't know. It's just weird. So I guess I'm just on a different wavelength. But that Selling Sunset show, it was so caustic and toxic, like, I couldn't handle it. It was actually bothering me when it was on. Like, I was like, "Wow, like, I don't think I can handle this." Like, it was actually kind of pissing me off just because it was so bad. It was so just like, I don't know. Like, they attack each other all the time, and it's just so weird. Like, why would you have friends like that? I don't get it. I really don't. Like, I totally can understand having enemies and, like, really hating people and stuff like that, but I don't understand, like, hanging out with them, talking about stuff with them all the time, arguing with them, letting them sabotage you or whatever. It's like, and they all have so much money, it's like, just get up and go. Do your own event or just leave or something, like, and I get it, it's, like, drama for the show, but I don't know. I guess sometimes I just question, like, why are things like this popular? Why is there a demand for this? And that's odd to me that there's a demand. Like, something like football or sports, I can totally understand because it's just like a game and it's kinda like watching a game show or like a competition show, like even something like The Bachelor, it's a competition. It's a vicious competition, but it's a competition. Like, I can understand watching something like that. But something like Selling Sunset, it's like, what? Like, why? I just don't get it. I don't know. But I've been watching all these really old YouTube videos from 10 years ago of parodies. Like, I was watching The Key of Awesome, and he was so vicious. He's like a Gen X, and he was so vicious against all the millennial musicians. But then it's just weird because it's like there are no Gen Z musicians, it seems like. Like, I couldn't even think of somebody who's poppin', really. And it's like that channel probably couldn't exist today because there's nobody like, there used to be, like, so many musicians and so many people coming up and so many things happening, and then Gen Z came in and there's, like, nothing. And so it's really odd. It's really weird to me. Because I find it odd that we are still talking about Taylor Swift. Like, shouldn't there have been somebody younger that's more relevant at this point? And there isn't. And it's like, that's weird, right? Yeah, Olivia is it, but shouldn't there be more than 2? I can only think of Olivia and Billie Eilish. That's 2. Like, with millennials, there was, like, 50. There was a lot. There were many, many, many things, all different genres, all different come ups. Like, I can't even, like, talk about how many there were. Like, I don't even know all of them because there were so many. Like, I couldn't even keep up. But it's like when I look at the Key of Awesome, it's like he was making fun of Pitbull, he was making fun of Taylor Swift, he was making fun of Rihanna, he was making fun of, um, Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Lorde. Lord, I think, is a Gen Z, but she kind of fell off. There's like a lot more people, and it just seems like there isn't that many people now. It's like, who would you make fun of today if you were doing a channel? And if you made fun of them, would you even get views for it? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird to think about like how much less creativity there is now, especially on YouTube. It's so not creative anymore. It's just not. And it's really sad. Like, I was looking at Lise Bug, which she used to date Shane Dawson, and she's irrelevant at this point. Like, I think she's in her upper 30s or her older 30s. She just had a baby, and she doesn't get very many views at all. And she's like, she's like, I still post because I love it. And she's like, and I don't really have like, she's like, I know I'm not relevant, I'm not known, I'm not talked about, but I still love to do it. But it's like YouTube has changed their algorithm to the point where like you can't really have a personal channel and make it anymore. Like, it's not possible at all. And that's sad because like there's no creativity. Like, the only thing you can find on YouTube now is like cow feet videos, and like, I'm a plumber. It's like everything is like a job. I do makeup. This is how I do makeup. Like, it's just weird. There's no like personal YouTube touch anymore. Like, there were so many creators that were millennials. And even now, like drama channels, they were talking only about millennials. Like, where's Gen Z? Where's the Gen Z vloggers? Where's the Gen Z comedians? Where's the Gen Z people doing skits and music videos and these types of things? I don't see it. Like, I saw one with Lil Huddy, I think is his name, and maybe he's still doing it, but I don't know. It's just weird. There's no creativity anymore on this app. Like, I feel like every single Gen Z I see, they are a commentary channel. They are talking about what someone else is doing. They're not doing something themselves. Excuse me. And even I get sick of it, just because like I'm reacting to a lot of fat acceptance TikToks and stuff, and I feel like I'm a commentary channel, and I don't like that because it's kind of boring. But that's why I do this channel, because I'm trying to create more original stuff. I even started up my ASMR channel last night, which is hilarious to me, but I will do that if I feel it in my soul. And somebody was really happy I posted, and I hadn't posted on that channel in 2 years, so that was funny. But I get it. Like, I'm an ASMR hoe, so like I left my videos up, and I still was getting probably like that one viewer that loved my videos, and they were still looking at it. And so I was like, I will just leave it up. But it's like I just miss creativity on YouTube, especially. It's just so not creative anymore. And it's fine. Like, there are people that are artists. There's a lot of artists on YouTube, and they're kind of cool, but it's like I miss like lifestyle content and vlogging and people talking about their lives and talking about things, and like where you could really follow a person. Like, you just can't do that with YouTube anymore. You just can't. Like, YouTube changed the algorithm, and it's just sad. You can't do it anymore. Um, they sell a lifestyle that is marketing and consumers friendly. Who's they? Gen Z, we're so creative. We make new pronouns every day. Oh my God. Gen Z has come into their own yet. Well, the thing is, like, you come into your own as a creative person, like at 16. The oldest Gen Z is like 26 or 27. So that's still like a 10-year gap. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what? I think the last person I saw that was relevant on YouTube was like Tana Mojo. And she was annoying as shit, but at least she was somebody I could talk shit about. Like, where are the rest of the Gen Z people that I could talk shit about? Why is it just her? And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you think about most prominent Gen Z YouTubers, they are all commentary. It's like D'Angelo Wallace, I think is his name, or I don't know, Sid, which I can't stand Sid. He is horrible. I don't like any of those because they're really like awful. They're just so judgmental. And it's like, I don't think a lot of Gen Z understands, like, I don't have respect for your opinion if you have never done anything. Like, if you are not a YouTube comment, like, if you have never made YouTube content that has been engaging, like, that's original content, I don't care that much about what you have to say. Like, I just don't. Because it's like, they're just like, "Oh, this is so problematic. This is so awful. I can't believe they would do this." And then it's like, but then they chase everybody off, and now nobody will do anything anymore, and there's no creativity anymore at all. It's like they canceled everything, and so now there's just nothing left. And it's just like, it's just so toxic. It's just so toxic to me. It's just horrible. And that's probably the thing that I hate the most about Gen Z is they are so like, they're so judgmental. And it's like, I've never known a younger generation to be more judgmental than the generation that came before it. And it's like, that's how Gen Z is. Like, they're so caustic and mean and nasty, and they're not fun. Like, at least when millennials were caustic and mean and nasty, they were funny about it and it was entertaining. And it was like, oh my God, what did they say? Whoa, you know? Like when Taylor is like a huge bitch to everybody and then she gets canceled, she makes reputation. And it's really interesting and weird. And like, it's like a huge comeback era, even though she totally was a bitch in the years prior and she acts like she wasn't. That's like toxic millennial. It's like toxic millennial could still make a spin on it and still make a narrative and like create an arc and a story out of it. Gen Z toxicity is just like judging everybody. You know, I think like one of the most famous ones is like the guy that worked with Colleen. What is his name? Adam, I think. He is so toxic. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like he is the most toxic Gen Z YouTuber I've ever seen. But it's like, what does he do? He just sits and reacts to what other people are doing. That's like the Gen Z way. It's like, I'm gonna sit and react to what other people are doing. And I'm not here to judge. Like, I get it. It's tough out there, but it's like, I don't know. Like, it's not that I'm worried about any one particular person doing this. It's why is there nobody making original content? That's what's weird. Like, there's always been commentary, but there used to be many things to commentate upon, and there isn't anymore. There's no creativity. There's nobody making anything really. And it's just odd. It's really odd. Like the YouTube community has been dead for probably around 5 years. I think it died with David Dobrik when he was finally canceled. It was the last person. I didn't even like him, but like I said, at least it was somebody to talk shit about. There's nobody now. I think there's Mr. Beast, but it's like he is so astroturfed. Like, I'm sorry. I just can't even. That is astroturfed. Joe, nice, Caleb. Um, Welcome to communism, comrade. Individuality, humor, and creativity die under communism. Well, either that or it dies under being raised under Gen X, I guess. The only creative Gen Z stuff I see are those who make videos like A German Goes to Hogwarts. All comedy parody stuff, but only some of them are good. Um, that's a super good point about judgmental nature of Gen Z. Usually we judge the younger generation more. Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, nothing is good enough for Gen Z. They're always upset about everything and nothing ever happened to them. It's so annoying. It's like the most annoying generation ever. They're so lame. And to be honest, it's like I will send judgment their way. Like they deserve it. I think they deserve judgment, honestly. And I don't think not judging Gen Z has helped them. I think it's made it worse because it's like, I don't know. Where the fuck are your creators? Where's your lifestyle vloggers? Where's your streamers that are Gen Z? Where's your people that go out and do things that are Gen Z? Like the only times I see some Gen Zs do something is like, ironically enough, like center right political creators, which is really random. But that's where I see some Gen Z creativity, like actually going out, doing speeches or like interviewing people on the street and stuff. Otherwise, it's like what? Like Hunter Avalon? he's just reacting to everybody else. He's just another commentary channel. And the thing is, like, I'm not here to hate on commentary necessarily. It's just, why is nobody doing anything? Even my channel, even as a millennial, I'm trying to make a commentary channel, and I'm actually doing a weight loss journey. So it isn't even a commentary channel, it's a weight loss channel, because that's a real thing I'm actually doing in real life. What is Gen Z doing but judging everybody? What does Sid do? Sid sits on his ass and acts like he's morally superior to everybody when he isn't, just because he's a vegan. He's the most annoying person I've ever known in my life. No humor, so stupid, so controlling, so annoying. That's a lot of Gen Z creators. And it's like, where's the good Gen Z? Why are you letting these clowns speak for you? It's just horrible. It's really horrible. I hate it. Because to make something more original, you have to use the formula that were created in the 80s and 90s, and Gen Z doesn't even know about all the great stuff that happened in those eras. On TikTok, TikTok is where Gen Z make most of their content. Sure, Kayla, but most of TikTok content is just like, it's like Vine. Like, Vine was around for millennials, and that's fine. Like, that has its place. It's just sound clips, short videos where you're like joking about something dumb, and then and then it ends. It was never my thing, but we did have it as well. It was just called Vine. And Vine died eventually. I don't remember why it died, but I didn't like Vine. I thought it was stupid, so I never really was on it. But and I'm just like, I'm not on TikTok either, because I don't really like short form content like that. I'm just not really about it. But it's like, we had that too, but we still had YouTubers. So it's like, I don't understand that, Caleb. Like, TikTok is very different from YouTube. It's a completely different niche. It's like I said, just short, quick, joking, funny, quote unquote videos and dancing with your belly out. That's all it is, which is fine, but I wouldn't consider it creative. I just wouldn't. It's not. Like, it isn't creative to put on music and just dance badly. Like, something creative would be to be a good dancer. That would be creative, but just getting on camera and being like, that's not creative. And then doing like all the same dance, it's like, okay, what? So I don't know. It's just, it would be creative to actually make your own dance. And again, I'm not trying to say like every Gen Z needs to be creative. It's just, why are none of them creative? That's what's weird. It's like, there's none of them, you know? That's bizarre to me. Like, there's always been basic bitches that just like did dance trends, and I think there was like the Soldier Boy dance or something back when I was in middle school. Like, I never did it, but that stuff has always been around. It's just like, why is nobody making their own dance? Or why is it like, or it's like, there's only like one person. It's just weird. Yeah. Gen Z thinks the short spur of the moment idea is good content. I think what it is, I'm thinking about it more as I'm talking about it. And I think what it is that all the creative Gen Zs, they were probably like strangulated by Gen X parents that basically said, you have to go to college and have a traditional job. And so what I do see is a lot of Gen Zs that just go to college. They don't even consider a creative career at all. And it's just go to college, try to get a job, and then all of them are not able to get a job in this economy. And a lot of Gen Zs are really disillusioned right now. Um, so I don't know, but I think it's like Gen X parents just didn't foster any creativity. It just seems like they didn't allow their kids to be creative at all. It's like, you have to just go get a job and go to college, and that's it. And so the only ones that are creative in Gen Z are like weirdos that are not very creative, or intelligent, or they're like kids that were bullied in high school. Like somebody like Sid, I could see him being bullied. I'm sorry, I know that's harsh, but it's basically only outcast Gen Zs are doing content. There's no like mainstreamer Zs doing content, which means you just have weirdos. from Gen Z making creative content, and it's not creative because there's a reason they were an outcast. It's because they're not likable. They don't have anything going for them, and that's it. So that's probably what it is. That's probably my opinion, to be honest. I think I just figured it out because you only have like a few that like glitch. Like Olivia Rodrigo, she's kind of a glitch. I think because she was homeschooled, so she didn't have like the mainstream societal take, and she also went into Disney really young. So she kind of glitched out, and she is a creative Gen Z, but it's like it could only happen by a glitch because I think the actual like cultural trends, it didn't allow that. It just didn't. And because this other channel that I watched, he was this guy. I always talk about this video. I almost feel like I should react to it because it was just so horrible. It was like one of the worst videos I've ever seen in my life. And it was just this basic white guy, and he was shirtless, and he has abs or whatever. And I think he was like 20. And he was just like, I wish I wasn't a part of Gen Z or something. It was called something like that. And he was just sitting there shirtless, and he was talking about how when he was a kid, he always had entertainment and he never had to like think of something for himself. It's like he had the TV, or he had a video game, or he had something. There was never a bored moment when he was a child, so he just never learned how to be creative. And I'm like, I wonder if that's what it is too, but I think that might just be him. But even he was bullied because in high school or whatever, he was like really, really skinny. Now he has some muscle on him, and he's just like, I'm the hottest thing ever because I have muscle now. And he makes a channel and he gets like 54,000 views. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, it's so weird to me. And it's like millennials that were popular on YouTube, they weren't popular either. Lisa, you always do this, like, and then you catch up, like, right as I'm like almost done. It's like, oh my gosh, Lisa. Um, but yeah, like, I don't understand. Like millennial YouTubers, they were bullied or whatever too, but like they were really creative and they could actually like. I know everybody hates Miranda Sings now, and everybody hates Colleen, but she was funny. There was a lot of stuff she did that was funny. I don't care what they say, it was hilarious. It just was. And yes, it's toxic and whatever. I get it. I get it. Like, toxicity is a vibe within millennials. I will never question that. But it was funny and it was engaging. Like Shane Dawson's content, it was toxic, but it was funny. It was actually funny. And it's like even the Key of Awesome, like he was a Gen X. It was toxic. Like he in his last parody of Taylor Swift, he made fun of her for doing the lawsuit for the dollar. Um, he made fun of her for that, and it's like, that probably wouldn't fly, but he was basically making fun of the fact that she acts like she doesn't love drama, but that suing somebody for that is, like, the most dramatic thing you could do, and it's totally true. Like, I could totally see what he was saying, but it's like a joke like that would not fly today. Like, you couldn't actually criticize somebody today. Like, it's just weird. Gen Z is so weird because it's like they want to criticize everybody for really banal things that have nothing to do with anything. But if you actually attack somebody on something real, then they don't want you to say anything. It's the weirdest thing. It must be like a result of Gen X parenting because that's kind of how Gen X are. Like they care a lot about stupid things that don't matter, and they don't care about big things that do matter a lot. And I feel like Gen Z is the same way, but it's just really weird because it's like I appreciated the Key of Awesome because he would actually comment on how uncreative those musicians were or how formulaic the music was becoming. And he would comment on how rich they were and how dumb they were. Like he made a parody of Chained to the Rhythm where he made fun of Katy Perry and basically said that she was biting the hand that feeds her. Like she's talking about how horrible consumerism and capitalism is, but she's the one that benefits the most from it. That's really interesting to actually make a commentary on and actually make fun of somebody for it. And it's like you don't see anything like that anymore. And it's just weird to me. It's like, why don't we have anything like that anymore? That's weird. I'm like, what a huge like, I think it just hit me where I'm like, what a huge gap. What a huge gap. Um, it's just weird. I didn't enjoy her content. Whose content? Gen Z just cancels and doesn't create. Exactly. Gen Z, they're not creative, must have never took an art class, required DIY ever. Well, I think some of them, like there are Gen Zs that can sing choir, I'm sure. There's a lot of artists that are Gen Zs. So like I mean drawing, painting, I see a lot of that. There's a lot of those. And they do make videos and they're pretty good. But it's like that's fine, but it's just like it's introverted. I don't know, like, it's no shade to any introverts, but it's like, where are the extrovert Gen Zs? Where are you? You know, it's like, where are your people going out and doing things? Like, why is every Gen Z either a super introvert artist that, like, barely even talks on camera, or somebody who was bullied in high school and thinks because they have abs now, they're, like, the hottest shit ever? It's just so bizarre. And then I think the only other thing I see is, like, kind of red pill-ish content from Gen Zs, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like those topics have been talked about a lot better already, and it's like, I understand the criticisms of women, but it's like, I don't know, even that gets kinda repetitive after a while. Um, I just feel like everything is just I don't know. I guess the boredom is really getting to me. Like, the boredom of YouTube and content and everything is getting to me, and it's like, I wish I was less boring, but I don't know. Like, I literally am at the point now where I'm like, I need to just do this shit myself so I can entertain myself because I'm that bored. And I love YouTube. Like, that's the thing. Like, I love YouTube. I've always loved YouTube, and it's like, gosh, like, it's really dying really badly. It's just weird, but it kind of feels like everything is dying, you know? It kinda does. It's like music is kinda dying. Movies have already died. Like, I can't even think of a good movie that came out recently that I was even that interested in seeing. Um, it's like I feel like in the past, there were so many times when you would go see a movie and it was, like, really good or, like, really more than what you expected, and you're like, "Wow." And it's like, I haven't felt that way in probably over 10 years, at least. Like, I think the last time like, I loved Paranormal Activity because it was innovative at the time. Now it's kinda boring, but back then it was like, "Whoa, this is so interesting because it was actually kinda new. I think that's, like, the last thing I remember that was kinda new, like, in the way it was done. They tried to do that horrible Skype movie, that one was horrible. That did not work out at all, that was terrible. But it was kind of funny just for how terrible it was. But it was bad. So some of that is like a flaw, but I don't know. I mean, Lisa always says it's Gen X that like killed creativity. And maybe she's right, because I do feel like in the 90s and even a lot of the 2000s, like you could have like a rom-com. It's like they don't have anything anymore. And it's like, gosh, like how sad, you know? Like, if you look at you and that isn't even that long ago, that's just the 2000s, and that wasn't even, like, top tier shit, it was just, like, good enough, and it's like, I don't know, you can't even get, like, a Bridget Jones' Diary today, it's like it just turns into, like, a woke statement about feminism or something, and then it's just like it's not even that it's an issue to be a feminist, like, it's kinda just whatever to me, but it's just that the plots are so predictable and so, like, overdone, like, it's, like, the same story is told over and over again, and it's just like oh my god, Lisa. They've even ruined sci-fi, I'm sure. I mean, there's nothing that great, like, I don't know, and I let Hollywood die a long time ago in my mind, like, I haven't really watched anything. I think the last movie that was pretty interesting was, like A Quiet Place, I think. That was kinda interesting. Like, horror was probably the last one to die because horror, I feel like there's more leeway, like, you're less likely to get canceled. But it's like, even, like, when they tried to do that gay rom-com and it was Bros, it's like the guy wasn't even hot. It was stupid. I'm like, "Why are you having, like" I don't know, I this might be millennial, Lisa, but there is this weird millennial thing where it's like they want things to be as real as possible on a movie, and it's like, first of all, like, you're trying way too hard with Bros, it wasn't even that realistic, and secondly, because this is why it wasn't realistic, because that guy would never be with that guy, and every gay man seeing that movie knows that, so it's like you're trying to go for a hyper realistic situation, but it's just not giving, it's not working at all, and then also, like, most gay men watching that movie wouldn't wanna be with the main character either because he's just so unlikable and unattractive. So it's like, ew, this just isn't it. And then it was just like a virtue signal type of thing. And it's like, I do agree with that, Caleb. The Whale was entertaining, but it was just kind of like a trash fire. Like, it didn't have any real meaning to it. It was just like an experience, which is fine. Like, it's better than what's out there. But it's like, if you compare it to Black Swan, which was another movie that that director did, that movie was way better than The Whale. It was so much more interesting and so much better done, and it was just so much better than The Whale. So he's a decent director, but even he's degraded in quality drastically with The Whale. It's like everything is degraded in quality. It's just horrible. It's horrible. And it's like, I just think people need to stop going to stuff. Like, people need to stop spending money on this. They just have to. And it's like, you just got to take the L sometimes, you know? Everything Everywhere All at Once was amazing and written and directed by millennials. I haven't seen that one. I'm Gen Xer, and both my Gen Z and Alpha children have great sense of humor, even more dry and cynical humor than we were. That's funny. Rose wasn't even about gay, it was about the Black trans movement. Well, that's even worse then. Like, then it's like you're doing false advertising then. Like, I remember when I was watching I think I really tried with the gay movies. I went and saw, like, Dave or whatever. What's it called? Not Dave. I don't know. Oh gosh, what was it called? Oh my god, I can't even think of the name. Love, Simon. Gosh, whoa, that, like, really was buried deep. So I was like, "Okay, period, like, I'm gonna support the gays. I'm gonna go see this movie." It was horrible. It was a horrible movie. It was not relatable at all. It was just so dumb, and it was like, "Dude, really?" And then they made it mostly like, there was, like, a lot about race in it, and I'm just like, "I don't know, like, this is weird." So it's like, you're gonna have a gay movie, but you can't even make it be about gay, and then any parts that are about gay don't make any sense, like, he came out and, like, nobody really cared, but then they did care, but then they got over it in, like, a day, and I was like, "That's not realistic." Like, when you come out, there's gonna be one of 2 paths usually. There's 3 paths, but typically it's gonna be one of 2. The most common response to coming out is A, nobody cares, or they all already knew. So that's, like, a huge thing. That happens a lot, especially to Gen Z. People just don't even care. The other way is, like, people are surprised or questioning it. They have a lot of questions, they're suspicious about it, and they don't know. And that happens a lot too. But that lasts, like, a year. That doesn't just blow over in a couple weeks. That's, like, a year-long process, or, like, parents have to accept it. That's a common thing, but it takes, like, a full year. So, it doesn't blow over that fast, or it's, like, taken horribly and you're, like, kicked out or something like that. That's, like, the worst case scenario, but it's typically one of those 3, and it's typically nobody cares or there's skepticism and questions and a grieving process for parents. That's and I feel like they were trying to do that one for Love, Simon, but it was over way too fast, and it just didn't make any sense. And it was just really just I don't know, it was kind of obnoxious. And then like there was this narrative where it's like he got into a relationship like right after. And I'm just like, dude, that is like so unlikely. Like if they were gonna try to do like a real movie about it, if I were to write it, which I'm not because I'm not a writer, but if I were, I would just have it like he has a guy that he's interested in. He comes out for the guy and then they end up breaking up. That's a very common thing that happens. Because then it's like, "Oh, I feel like I should come out because I'm in love with this guy." Then you try to come out and then they break up with you anyways, and then you're out of the closet and then you're alone. That's like a much more common thing that occurs. So, that would have made a much better movie anyways, but it's also kind of annoying to have a movie where the whole conflict is being gay. That's kinda stupid, and that's probably why that movie was it was destined to fail because it's better as a complicating factor for a movie, not so much like an entire story. Like, that only really works, like, in a YouTube coming out video. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't work for, like, a movie. It's just not enough of a thing. The best gay movie I saw recently was Fire Island, and it was a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice. Everything Everywhere All at Once made my boomer dad cry and laugh hysterically. Oh my gosh. What about Avatar? Avatar's okay, like, it was okay. I don't really care about the new one, to be honest. The only thing that was impressive about Avatar was really the visual effects of it. That was what was impressive, and the actual planet and stuff. But the story was kind of basic, and it was just like Pocahontas 2.0. Like, it was basically Pocahontas, which it's like, okay, but it was more so just impressive because of the visual effects, that's all, which is fine, but it's like you can only do that once. Like, you can only be impressed by visual effects one time. Does that make sense? That's kinda how I feel about Avatar. So, I mean, it's a pretty good movie, but it's, like, mostly the effects and the directing and everything, yeah, like, it's not really the story that was, like, super impressive. And even James Cameron, like, Titanic was way better. So it's like if you look at like the degradation, like he's a really good director. He's like a genius director, but even that was a step down from Titanic. So I'm just saying it just seems like people aren't getting better, they're getting worse. And even that, like that came out 10 years ago. Like that's old, you know? Um, that's kind of older. So it's just weird. And I get that they had a new one, but it's like, I don't know, it's irrelevant now. I don't know. I don't think it has bad writing. I don't agree with that, Lisa. I just think I don't agree with that at all. I think it's actually pretty good. But it was just a little bit feministy. I don't agree. We completely disagree. I don't agree with you at all, Lisa. I think the dialogue is good. I love it. Um, well, it was a thing of the times for sure. But no, I think the writing's good. There's just so many iconic moments in Titanic. I love it. Um, I should watch it again. I haven't watched it in a minute, but I have it on Blu-ray. I have it on my phone. That's how much I like it. But yeah, it's like it was really good at its time because you have to remember too, Caleb, it was like it came out in the 90s and it was very like innovative. Like they built a whole ass ship and everything. Like it was really impressive. And it was good. And I guess people liked Kate Winslet's boobs. uh, yeah, I mean, I don't like that she let him die, but I kind of understand like why it happened. And it was like a story device. So it's like he had fulfilled everything he was gonna do. And in movies and stuff, when somebody's done that, they die. So it's kind of like that. So I could kinda understand it, but, it upset me for a long time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I think I watched, like, American Beauty as well. That movie was really good. I mean, just stuff that came out back then, it was so much better than the stuff now. It's just like, I don't know, it's just been such a degradation over time. Um, and I think it's just because there's like this postmodern trash leftist bullshit of like, if we just have good graphics, then we don't have to care about a story at all. And it's like, yeah, I would agree with that, Caleb. I don't understand that, but it's like I always talk about how this person made this statue of a female cop that was taking a piss. Like a female cop squatting and peeing, and like the stream of pee is coming out of her, and there's a puddle of piss on the underneath her. Like they really they execute the execution is good, but what they're actually making is stupid. That's very like postmodern leftist bullshit. And I think that's how movies have become, where it's like the graphics are amazing and that the execution is good, but what they're actually doing isn't good. So it's like that person made an amazing sculpture of a female cop pissing. Like it looked just like a female cop pissing. And I think it was made out of plastic or whatever. Like it was amazing execution. But it's like, why the fuck are you making a statue of a female cop squatting and taking a piss? Like, what does that do? Like, there's no statement, there's no meaning. It's very like AI. So I feel like a lot of, and I think that was a millennial artist that did that. And I think a lot of millennials, they're kind of like human AI. Like they don't have any feeling. And it's like, I don't know, it freaks me out. That kind of stuff freaks me out because I'm just like, ew, like that's weird. Because I feel like there's a lot of human robots in the millennial generation where it's like they're like AI and they're just like just making something random and it has no meaning and it's just like really gross. So I don't know. I mean, I guess the degradation has been going on for a long time. And I guess with Gen Z, it just finally reached a critical mass and there's just nothing left anymore. And I do think Gen Alpha is creative. Like, we'll see how they do. But I think Gen Z will probably just always be a gap, and it's just never going to. I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to fill it in. They're like the Gen X that never went into politics. I think Gen Z is just never going to go into creative stuff. I think it will skip from millennials and it will go straight to alpha. It'll just like bloop, flip over. Because I do think alpha, there are plenty that are creative. Like I see the signs and they're coming into their own Celtic at like 14, 12, whatever. Like they're starting to come into their own now, which is normal. So by the time they're 16, 17, they're going to be on YouTube or they're going to be making stuff. And it's like, okay, so maybe Gen Z is just like a glitch. Or maybe Gen Alpha is just so scarred by everything that's happened that they have to be creative to like deal with it. And maybe that's how millennials were too, but I guess Gen Z just had it too easy. I don't know. It's a weird thought. Like, I feel like Tim Pool when I say that, but it's like maybe it is just that Gen Z had enough. Like, they were never bored. So they never had to think of something. Um, It's not really hate train, Caleb. It's more like concern and frustration because, like, I'm really bored. So it's like, I'm really bored of millennial YouTubers. Like, no offense, but like people that are like in their late 30s or like trying to have kids and stuff, it's like, it's fine. Like, it has its place, but it's just not the same as somebody young and like going out and doing wild stuff and like being problematic and gossip and speculation about them and all that stuff. Like that's just so much more interesting. And there just isn't anything like that in Gen Z. It's like a complete lack of that. And that's so it's more of a frustration rather than a hate. Like I think I don't hate Gen Z. Most Gen Z, they're just trying to get a job. They're just like normal people. But I do hate the lack of Gen Z creativity, and I hate the lack of, like, Gen Z personalities, like, there just isn't. And they try, but it's like they can only do short form content because they don't have a personality. I know that's harsh, but it's like you have to have personality to have long-term content or, like, long form, and they don't. So unless if they're just bashing somebody else that has a personality, a lot of them can't talk for longer than 2 minutes. Otherwise, you see that there's nothing there. There's nothing going on in here. It's just, like, the image of it. So, I don't know. It's weird. It really bothers me. So, that bothers me along with the fact that I have to change my diet, and it makes me wanna die that I have to change my diet. But I guess I'm gonna go now because racism and misogyny is not going to fight itself. So, I need to get back on the campaign trail and the protest march. So, I will get back to you guys later, but thank you for hearing my rant. I needed to release hate. Oh, yeah, but the thing is, Caleb, old generations always judge younger generations. That's a tradition. Like, I've come of age. Of course, I'm judging because that's what you do when you come of age. You judge the younger generation. Gen Z just skips straight to judging everybody, which is weird and not typical at all. Gen Z should be out doing stuff that's worthy of being judged, but instead, I gotta sit here and judge them that they're not doing anything. That's not normal. I just need you to know that, Caleb. That is not normal at all. Every single generation prior to Gen Z was out doing crazy stuff in their early 20s, and Gen Z is just boring as hell. So I'm just saying, boring and judging everybody. Like they skipped right over, and it's like you're judging, but you have no experience to judge anything on. So you just seem dumb. And that's really harsh, but it's true. Like when I watch Sid, he doesn't say anything intelligent. It's really stupid. It's very black and white thinking. It's dumb. There's no character to it. Look at Hunter Avalon. Has he had a single good take? No. Basically, no. Because he's too dumb and young. Like, nobody gives a shit about your commentary when you're, like, under 30. I'm sorry. It's just you're irrelevant. You don't know anything. Maybe towards late 20s, you kinda start to know more, but it's like, honey, when you're 23, 21, it's like nobody cares what you have to say. Like, I think Sid is, like, 24 or something. I don't give a fuck what he has to say. He doesn't know anything. He hasn't done anything. That's the thing too. Most older generations, they're judging because they've done stuff. So they can, like, look back. You have, like, your Midnights era, like Taylor Swift. Like, if Taylor was judging and talking about other musicians and she was being critical, I would be interested in what she has to say about the industry and about younger musicians because she knows what she's talking about. If Olivia Rodrigo comes out and starts judging Taylor Swift and all these other musicians from a Gen Z 20-year-old perspective, I don't give a shit what she has to say. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She wouldn't do that, I don't think, because she's smart. She's like one of the only normal paradoxically, she's the weirdest Gen Z, but she's like one of the most normal people, which is probably why she's becoming famous. But it's like she wouldn't do that because she knows that she's dumb. And it's like, that's good, like, but if Taylor wanted to get on her high horse and be like, these bitches out here, they don't know what they're doing. This is stupid. Look at this media mistake they made. Wow, what a joke. That would be interesting to hear because Taylor knows the media. She knows how to deal with the machine. And that's kind of my take on it is it's like people are only interested in your judgment if you actually have done something or know something. Like I've done tons of messy ass behavior and all the shit. I made all the mistakes and especially within dieting and weight loss, but I know what I'm talking about now and I'm literally doing it. So that's why people are interested in my commentary. If I didn't do 10 years of dieting before, I wouldn't have much to say, nothing original. And this is just me bitching on here just because I'm bored. But this is just being a personal YouTuber. It's just saying how I feel at the time, which Gen Z doesn't do, which I'm irritated. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go. Woo! This is why Taylor props up Stacy, Gracie, Sabrina, and Ice Spice. They're not talented, so they will never challenge her. And that's toxic. That's toxicity. Like, you should always want the next generation to do better or want better things. But yeah, yeah. Unlike when she propped up Olivia and then she made a hit and stopped, and she should be helping her. That would be like a less toxic version of Taylor, but that'll never happen. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back later. And thank you for letting me rant and bitch and whatever. I needed to this morning. I'm upset. I feel like I have to grow up and like not have freaking Peeps and Sour Patch Kids every day anymore. And it's really bothering me, but I'm going to do it. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.